Welcome, Scorpio. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I'm getting ready to do your new moon in Leo reading. Welcome to all of you. I'm pulling up a meditation, particularly on Uranus's now few weeks stay in, or a couple weeks stay in Gemini. And this is talking about this energy of the divine feminine, which I have spoken about before. So let's find out more about how you are integrating this power of your gift, your talent into your everyday experience, into recognizing that your talent and gift are what comprise the completeness of you, and that is what must be integrated into every aspect of your life, into your community. The overall energy for the reading is the World card. The beautiful World card shows you being at a peak of experience in some particular achievement or accomplishment or presentation, a way in which your community receives and understands, appreciates, or recognizes your contribution. This has been a long journey, and you've reached a place where you understand you are receiving success. And that success is certainly including many lessons, many skills developed, many aspects of your ability being improved upon in preparation for something new. So as you're closing out this phase, and that recognition and reward are symbols of your achievement, your accomplishment, you're being seen by the world in a particular regard, it is time for you to begin on a new journey. And underneath is the Strength card. So I'm definitely sensing for many of you, this is a new level or stage of achievement in an area or field or an activity that you have long been engaged in. You may not actually be changing the work you do, the contribution you're making, whatever constitutes your professional identity is an ongoing saga, but you are elevating to another level. And you have been working at this extremely high level of achievement. Your standards keep elevating as you come into more and more of your powers, and you understand a greater and greater responsibility that you feel that you have towards your gift and the narrative, the story that you are telling. I'm going to pull a crystal oracle to get us started, and my eye went to this beautiful sparkly card here, and it is an opal, and the key word is joy. My soul sings and dances to the vibrations of joy. It's interesting that opal is sometimes associated with Libra, your sister sign on either side of you. So it is bringing in this idea of your relationships, your collaborations, the way that you're working in the community, in the public eye, or in a professional way to build those teams, those collaborations that will bring you and leverage you the most success, perhaps for your individual work, but most likely for the work that contributes towards a larger story, message, or contribution. This is a general reading, Scorpio, so it isn't going to resonate for all of you. If you're interested in a personal reading, information for that is in the description box below. And if you find that this reading does resonate for you, please like this video and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. It helps immensely. I try to do things very simply and straightforwardly here, but I do respect the time that you spend supporting me in whatever way you do that, most primarily through your presence in some way. It feeds me, and I'm really grateful to you for that. So, in the 10th house, the Four of Staffs is really echoing this idea of not only an achievement, something that you've built as part of a team, but this is a foundation for continued growth. And this does give rise to some kind of an official commitment in some ways. That can be your professional commitment, your public inclusion as part of a team that is outward facing to the public or that serves the public in some way. It's also a kind of celebration for some discrete or concrete achievement that you've been able to make. And you understand it. It certainly is quite possibly your intention, along with those that you have created this foundation with, that this is a platform for expansion, for growth. This is just the beginning. This is just the foundation. This is a cultural, a social, even an emotional foundation, a spiritual foundation that is centering your activities as a team. In the first house, the Four of Jades, two fours here, which indicate to me solid foundations as the basis for something that you intend to grow, but that growth must be on a firm footing. The Four of Jades is talking about how cautious you are with your resources. This is not you jumping out impulsively or instinctively, but rather the things, the resources you've gained, the skills you've improved, the talents and gifts that you have amplified through the former achievements that you have been recognized for and rewarded for. You're using that to leverage a new level of growth, a new professional journey or activity, a new way of putting yourself out there, perhaps in a new form that is different from the form you've taken in the past. If you were a teacher in the past, perhaps now you're becoming a consultant or a trainer of teachers. That's kind of the idea that is generating here, and that you're showing me that you're using what you've gained, what you've earned, what you've saved, what has created your foundation to build something fresh. This is really beautiful, and it feels very unified with a tried and true team, but is open to eternal expansion and growth. That is the underlying mission, I feel, that is part of a current activity, one that you have closed out and one that you are opening up in a different form. In the fourth house, here we have the Hierophant. No surprise at all. This is the conventional teacher. This is the conventional commitment to an institution, to a tradition, to a form of showing others the way you came. There's a gatekeeper energy here where you perhaps are vetting others who desire to be a part of your team, your collaboration. You're showing others the way to gain the kind of credential, certification, or knowledge base that you have that empowers you to work effectively in your profession. So there is also an idea that you are opening yourself up to more learning. And this can be rather surprising to others because you are seen as an authority. You feel yourself to be an authority, but that is precisely the ability that you're modeling for others. The idea that learning is a lifelong activity, it's a lifelong commitment. And as we grow, there are new areas of exploration we desire to move through, to discover, to note. And this is beautiful energy of your commitment to supporting others to do what you have done as a lifelong practice. I really love this. This also can show for some of you a formal partnership. It can be business. It can also be emotional or romantic or spousal. This is quite likely partnerships in both arenas, both personal and professional life. Someone who you're deeply connected with, you are deeply committed to, that shares your desire to build something of benefit to others. In the seventh house, the Three of Swords. So this is describing of some real serious work that you're doing in your ability to form intimate, trusting relationships. And there is a level here of distrust. I believe this is an area that you're aware of. This is a dynamic that you know, that you have already invested a considerable amount of time in working through this, healing this, understanding this better, recognizing your own personal limitations, your own personal fears. They often come about as somewhat irrational fears because there isn't necessarily evidence of betrayal before it occurs. But the evidence for you is in your former relationships. This can have something to do with your conditioning, where you feel that others have let you down, disappointed, hurt you, broken your heart, not seen you as worthy of the love and the approval that you are seeking. So I feel that this is a card indicating your active healing in this area, your active awareness of your blind spots, the things that you aren't comfortable with, the way that you may be suspicious of others, and that blocks the intimacy. For some of you, this intimacy is reserved for your creative process. The cordoning off of the sacred and intimate experiences so that you can use them to fuel your expression in whatever way that works for you. But it is in its entirety your creative process, your working practice is healing, is focused upon healing, on recognizing your honest status with regards to how you work with, how comfortable you are working with other people. I'm going to clarify the Four of Jades in the first house with the Six of Cups in the second house and the Three of Swords again in the third house. So interesting. This feels like this desire to look at some uncomfortable, even frightening experiences or behaviors that you own as your own habits, routines, triggers, perhaps, is coming from some childhood or youthful experience of relationship or opportunity. So there's a way in which you were grounded in this beautiful gift you have, this comfortable gift, this way of expressing yourself uniquely. You can be something of a dreamer. I'm sure you have a vivid imagination, and you are quite likely remembering as a source of the power of your gift these early memories where you made yourself and others very happy, very joyful in exercising this gift without an agenda, without judgment from others, being allowed to be a child, expressing yourself freely. And in that moment, there have been ways that you were betrayed, criticized, put down, marginalized, shut down in some way that was an incredible betrayal to you. Particularly if you were a child, you had no way of understanding whether this was a result of something you have done or had said, or if this was a basic rejection of who you were. But you had no way of really understanding or comparing this to any other experience. And so that sense of heartache is almost intimately bound up with your expressions of love, of yourself. The Hierophant in the 4th house is clarified by the 6 of Swords in the 5th house and the 2 of Pentacles in the 6th house. So, I hope my microphone isn't scratching your ears too much. I hope that's better. So, there is a whole recovery story that is here. There's a way that you actually are leveraging your memories, your earliest relationships, and conditioning around what was expected of you and what you could expect from others through your own desire to access your story in a healthier way. So, understanding again that for many of you, your story, happy or sad, is a place where not to minimize or flatten out the depth and the richness of your stories by any means, but you have understood that this is a fount of your creative abilities. This stirs you on, this motivates you. You understand that there is messages in your story that must be heard, must be expressed. And at this current time, it feels as though your recovery has you at something of a choice point or an indecision about what way to go. And for some of you, I feel like it revolves around a comfortable location, a place where you can establish a comfortable routine, where you can set things up in a way that protects you from the whims or the arbitrary desires of others, in order to preserve the sacred space of your own self, your thoughts, your feelings, that you need a place that is sacred and intimate for you in order to ponder, consider, weigh the choices that are before you. And that is part of your recovery, is giving it a space to be. And I do think this is critical because the kind of healing that has been emphasized a couple of times by you, your energy, needs a place to work itself out. It needs a place to respond to, for you to activate, express some of your difficulties and have a place to process that, to feel that, to receive a response from within yourself. And that isn't something that's done casually or playfully by any means. The 7 of Swords, or the 3 of Swords in the 7th house, is clarified by the 3 of Pentacles in the 8th house and the Ace of Swords in the 9th house. So a couple of threes at least. You actually have 3 threes on the table, which is beautiful. This is you being busy to create something from the resources that you have at hand. That can include your pain, your discomfort, your embarrassment, your shame even, that you recognize is there to be expressed for a purpose. You understand that, and you are working diligently with others, those you trust. Again, this can be a feature of some kind of counseling you're receiving, some kind of healing from some kind of a healing practitioner that is a part of your finding comfort with this process of going deep into your subconscious. Remembering, as I never let you forget, Scorpio, that your ruling planet, Pluto, is doing extraordinary things right now, but by its nature is about the underworld. It's about being comfortable in the unconscious, in places that scare many. Your ability to rest, to dig deep, to become entranced by the mystery of who you are and why you do the things you do, why your path is what it is all part of your healing process. We all share this process, this necessity to look confront those things that frighten us, to look at our fears, but you have a particular command of the process, your own interest in going deep, in unpacking, in your fearlessness when it comes to what many characterize as personal demons. But the Ace of Swords is absolutely motivating you and spurring you on to your truth, the pursuit of that. And more than just your truth, in that truth is the pursuit of justice, the balancing out of energies in the world, the understanding of ways in which the kind of suffering you have experienced, you do experience, can be prevented, if not prevented, certainly balanced with other abilities, other knowledge, other awareness. And so you are about bringing light to some of the topics that have plagued you in your life. This is absolutely for those of you that are writers, speakers, singers. This is what you are bringing attention to in the world. If you're teaching, this is likely a topic you teach about. But you are a model of your own process. And this is part of our work here as conscious individuals, conscious human beings, part of communities that learn to work with the knowledge that we have gained, are constantly seeking and gaining. In the 10th house, the Four of Staffs, or the Four of Wands, is clarified by the Eight of Wands in the 11th house and the High Priestess in the 12th house. So I do feel like a lot is cooking for you at a professional level, at a community level, in some way that your experience is expressed out loud for others to see, for others to partake in. You are establishing yourself in some dynamic way that invites conversation, it invites news, it looks for invitations, and it issues offers to others as part of keeping the discourse moving along, having an opportunity to advance what you're learning and to learn from others. This is something you thoroughly understand or intuitively understand as a teacher, or at the very least, someone who is committed to the learning process. The High Priestess really rests on this is sort of taking you back to the beginning of this early experience, these earliest memories of your own expression, of your own talent, skill, unique abilities that surfaced before you had a chance to define them, label them, or expect anything of them other than the pleasure of exercising them. And I do believe that that is where you have gained a wealth of knowledge, understanding the events, those early memories, the process of understanding how to work in the world through relationships that are balanced, that are healthy, and that you share your knowledge, your reclamation of power to those who can understand it, to those who can listen, who want to know, who ask the questions. You're aware that what you have to say everyone isn't necessarily interested in. This is for a select few, but the power that resides in your wisdom is what is elevating you above this process of disappointment, betrayal, and moving you into a place of really deep gratitude and understanding that these particularly difficult challenges, experiences have made you stronger and have helped to define you in a way that gives you back the power to define yourself. I'm going to finish up this reading, Scorpio, with a seed and sickle oracle. I didn't even have a chance to say it. And I pulled the mushroom, number 31, which is reduces to 4 the number of the emperor, which is often attributed to Aries, but I believe is you share absolutely an alignment with as well. The emperor being that person who is able to control themselves, to control their own energies, recognizing what in the world is not within their control and no longer putting energy towards that, but really owning their experience, their lives. Their lives are sovereign. They are sovereign. They are whole. Mushroom reads, just like fungus bodies that spread underground, hiding until they're ready to flourish upwards, you've been busy working away in the background. You're wearing yourself thin for the sake of those who don't even realize you've been burning the candle at both ends. If you're not careful, you'll reach it. You'll reach a point where you'll burn yourself out. Catch this behavior before it gets out of control. Find someone to help you with your workload or compromise on areas that don't require as much attention. Be your own helping hand and find a way to balance your energy better. If you've enjoyed this content, please check out more here. If you've enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to my channel. Again, I thank you for your time, and until next time, namaste.